Greetings, friends and haters. It's Natalie here, and I want to express my gratitude for your comments, likes, and even dislikes. If my English isn't perfect, I apologize, and I appreciate your understanding. Thank you for your attention and time. Now, let's dive into the captivating story of Patricia Kaas. When Alan Delon first heard the song Mademoiselle Chante le Blues, performed by singer Patricia Kaas on the radio, he instantly fell in love with her strong, chesty feminine voice and tried to imagine what kind of image was hidden behind this delightful timbre. Having bought the cassette, Delon constantly listened to Patricia's album in his endless travels, on the plane or in long journeys from Paris to the town of Ducy, where his Swiss estate was located. Soon, Delon felt an irresistible urge to get acquainted with this Kaas. He could have simply called her through his assistants, but he didn't want to be that straightforward. He opted for a more elegant approach to the introduction. In 1989, upon learning where Kaas was performing next, Alan Delon purchased a ticket to the Zenith Hall and attended the show as a regular audience member. The moment Patricia stepped into the bluish light of the spotlights and sang the first verse, Delon knew he was irrevocably captivated. He eagerly awaited the conclusion of the concert and without any formalities, he skillfully navigated past the guards, approaching Patricia with a massive bouquet of roses. Grinning, he remarked, "I didn't dare to present you with red flowers. That might have intimidated you. You'd probably think, what a confident fellow," and promptly declined my dinner invitation. Patricia gazed at her visitor intently. Before her stood the most handsome man in the world, someone she had admired since childhood. They went to the Maxim restaurant. During dinner, Patricia ate nothing. She was paralyzed by his gaze, captivated by his stories, and enthralled by his hearty laughter and ravenous devouring of a steak. Patricia sensed an abyss between them. Delon was a legend, a movie star twice her age, while she was a debutante who had ventured from the German border town to glamorous Paris. How could she possibly capture the attention of someone so distinguished? She didn't think she was attractive, too pale, too thin, foolishly dressed, with bangs that always got into her eyes. At the end of the evening, Alan requested another date and then one more, sending flowers as a romantic gesture. Gossip began circulating in Paris, and soon no one could deny the rumors. When Patricia, who was rapidly gaining popularity, was invited to appear on the television super show Tous à la Une, Delon made a surprise appearance in the studio. Unconcerned about the consequences, he seized the microphone from the presenter and declared to the million-strong audience, "She is so beautiful, she sings so divinely, she's a great actress and a stunning woman. I love her, and now I'm shutting up because I see she's starting to blush." Handing the microphone to the bewildered host of the program, Patrick Sabatier, Delon walked over to Patricia, kissed her on both cheeks, sat down next to her, and intimately covered her hand with his own. There was a tense silence in the TV studio, and the audience on the other side of the screen froze. The pause was shattered by Patricia herself. Letting go of her hand, she stood up as red as tomato and walked unsteadily to the microphone to sing Summertime. Delon, struggling to wait for the final chords, leaped up and kissed her hand. The high society of Paris was left in astonishment. The following evening, in celebration of his name day, Alan gathered his closest friends at the Tront restaurant on the Place de la Madeleine. Patricia naturally was among the invitees. She hesitated about attending the social event, particularly given recent occurrences and the relationship status of her newfound admirer. His common-law wife, Dutch model Rosalie van Bremen, was expecting a child. As soon as Delon caught sight of her silhouette in the doorway, he rushed to meet her with a glass of champagne. Alan did not leave Patricia's side, brought her dishes with snacks, amused her with witty stories, and at the end of the evening, he personally put her in a taxi, telling his friends that he would not allow such a beautiful young woman to leave at night with any of the guests. Suddenly, an unexpected turn of events occurred. Patricia, aware of how such romances often conclude, ended her relationship with Delon without providing any explanation. Soon after, her new extremely candid album I Call You On You was released. In one of the songs, the following words sound: "While you lived like a prince, I sent for 3 sous at a provincial ball, dreaming of you." Naturally, Delon perceived the new songs as a belated acknowledgement and continued to pursue Patricia, even in disguise. He discovered the cities where Mademoiselle Kaas was touring and attended her performances, blending into the local audience. In the town of Plaisir, she unexpectedly spotted him among the spectators and forgot the lyrics in the middle of a song. At the press conference on the release of the album, Patricia made the following statement: "I suddenly desperately wanted to sing about love. The main theme of the album is impossible love. So strong that you are afraid of it. It's so forbidden that you give it up." There was no doubt in their minds that these words were directly addressed to Delon. After meeting Alan, Patricia dramatically changed her image. If earlier she felt natural in the image of a teenage girl with thick eyebrows, a short haircut with unruly bangs, provocative makeup, and appropriate concert costumes, now she wanted to be desperately seductive, desirable, and even aggressive. From now on, Patricia appeared on stage in tight dresses, sewn from gauze, fine silk, and lace, more like underwear. The new Patricia was flirtatious and full of confidence. Living in Paris and becoming more and more successful, Kaas acquired her own home in Saint-Germain-des-Prés. Her wardrobes were full of expensive designer clothes and she could afford to waste money. She had numerous affairs but chose not to marry. The first person who believed in her musical talent brought her to Paris, introduced her to Gérard Depardieu, the producer of the debut single for the then unknown young singer, and took on roles as a manager, friend, and assistant was Bernard Schwartz. However, Bernard, who was already married and living his own adult life, maintained a strictly businesslike relationship with his protégé. She was in love, shedding tears at night and dreaming of someday resting her head on his shoulder, a dream she knew would never come true. Patricia sought vengeance for her heartache and unfulfilled girlish dreams. The moment she gained her independence, she promptly declined his services, well aware of the consequences: prolonged legal battles, contract breaches, scandals, and substantial expenses for lawyers. Patricia calls her first true love Cyril Prior, who became her new producer. They became close at a time when her mother was dying of cancer. His support then helped Patricia a lot, but their relationship was short-lived. One of the most significant disappointments in her life was her affair with Belgian composer Philippe Bergman. It marked the first time she truly believed in the prospect of family happiness, but unfortunately, her hopes remained unfulfilled. Philip was the first man to propose to Patricia, and he convinced her that her past relationships with Bernard Schwartz and Cyril Prior were merely business, and that for Delon she had become nothing more than a fashion trend. Patricia didn't want to admit to herself that Bergman was with her because of her fame and status. After their breakup, Bergman sued the singer, claiming her real estate and money in order to maintain the lifestyle he was used to with Patricia. It was after this that Patricia declared that she had lost her trust and faith. She called herself a weak idiot in love. In 2001, Patricia was invited by Claude Lelouch to play the lead role in the film And Now, Ladies and Gentlemen. Kaas became a partner with Jeremy Irons. He was twice Patricia's age and married to Irish actress Sinead Cusack. Kaas fell in love with him at the first reading of the script. For Irons' sake, she agreed to do explicit scenes without a stunt double. For his sake, Patricia allowed herself to say goodbye to the image of a proud loner, which she had been intensively creating lately. Their romance began while filming in Morocco. It was as if they had become entranced by a passionate attraction to each other. After filming, they discreetly met in Paris and London, and then Patricia noticed a sweet stain on Jeremy's shirt. He smiled guiltily. "My wife baked my favorite blueberry pie." It deeply pained her. An image of a serene family life immediately surfaced. Jeremy's entire family gathered, fragrant tea steaming on the table, silverware clinking, and his wife cutting a cake. After the affair with Kaas, the exposed Jeremy gifted his wife an old castle, purchased in her native island in County Coke. Several times fate gave her a chance to become a mother, but she never used it. Each pregnancy seemed untimely to her, and the man too unreliable for the role of father. And for the singer herself, her career always remained in the foreground. It was the only thing that gave a sense of confidence and constancy. Kaas admits that she has often made wrong choices in her life, which she now regrets. She speaks harshly about men, but she doesn't blame them for anything. Patricia did not have a family, and now she admits with a slight regret in her voice that time has been lost. Millions are in love with her, but none of them has given women's happiness. On December the 5th, in 2023, the singer turned 57 years old. Despite her triumphs on stage, Patricia Kaas's journey through the complexities of romantic relationships reflects the universal truth that even the brightest stars may face challenges in matters of the heart.